Nick here. Set up my fancy tripod. So I could get some runs on this BT200X for you after we did the Predator and the torque converter swap on it. So I got that tripod set up and went to start it and the throttle cable's broken. I don't know when that happened. So take you along for the ride while I try to figure it out. Well, I was really wanting to get you guys a ride video done, but unfortunately that BT200X had other plans. So instead, you got a throttle cable replacement video, and maybe the next one will be a ride video. We'll see how it goes. Let's see if we can figure out what we did wrong here. Just gonna start by cutting these zip ties. All the zip ties that hold that throttle cable. So got her loose there. Won't come up. And just like before, take these two screws out of the throttle. Even then, just a smidge. Just need it to slide off for now. We'll find those. So there it is. Puppy just snapped right off the little head there. Don't know when that happened. It worked just fine when we used it last. You can see that throttle cable in there, all frayed. So I guess I need a throttle cable. So I'm going to the garage and see what I can find. Alright, so I found me this cable here in the garage. Got an end on it. It'll go up here in the twist throttle. We'll use the same cable sleeve. Probably have to trim it down because this one's shorter, so it's going to have to run along the top here down instead of all the way down and around this way like that last one did. So we'll get this air box off, get that off, get this put into that sleeve, and trim that sleeve because it's going to have to be trimmed up to have some of this cable come out the end of it. So we'll get on that. Just like we've done 250,000 times, airbox. These two bolts here, two nuts, a little at a time. Set them off to the side. Slide that box right off of there and just set it to the side. Now, the hold down, the other hold down there. I have to go get my stubby Phillips probably. Yeah, that's not even the right screw actually. This one here. There's one. And yeah, let me go get that stubby. Alright, I got the stubby. Here we go. Little guy. pull that out of there. So we'll pull that broken cable out of that housing and slide the other one in and see how much we need to trim off. So I got it lined up there. I'm just gonna run it along here, there. I'll pull it tight and decide how much I need to trim off. Looks like maybe about a foot or so. So I went ahead and gave it a quick little trim with the grinder. Now we'll take this piece here. We'll slide that cable through and then we'll get the housing over the cable. Okay, so how I do this is I take cable, I put it through the adjuster, then I take the end with the lead ball on it and then I shove it through this way, and it just, that ball helps it go right up that curve right to where it needs to be. And then I take this piece, usually with two hands, it helps. I'm gonna screw it into where it goes there, and I put that boot on where it goes, just like that. And then you take that in there and it goes in that hole there. I use bicycle cables a lot for my throttles and brakes, so sometimes I gotta grind these down to fit inside here. So we'll get that put in here, bring it back. So we slid it in, and it comes this way, down in there. And this little piece here, you can see the shape there fits in there. So this slides right in there like so. Make sure that cable goes in the groove. So that cable goes right in there. So put it in there like that. Set this piece in on top, like so. Then you go find the screws that rolled away and just get them started. Alright, so after you go find your two screws that rolled down the driveway, you take this piece here, that side right here goes over that little wedge that's in there, just sits on top of it there, like so. Slide your two screws in, and you use a stubby because that's what's sitting next to you. And you just get those screws started. Now that you got those screws started and you've held it with one hand and twisted it with the other, make sure that cable moves like it's supposed to. Then you can shove that cable through your housing. This part gets a little tricky sometimes, especially if the end of your cable is frayed a little bit. It's a little tricky. So put you down and get that pushed through there. So we got that guy pushed through there. It's kind of a bear. It kept getting stuck. I had to twist it and turn it all kinds of different directions and roll it around, get it to slide through. So we'll stick that handle back up there and see, hopefully it's long enough, see how we got to route it to get it down to that throttle plate. So we got the throttle on there, all tightened down. Looks like this is going to have to run down this way across the top bar. And it's going to swoop right down into that hole, down into that hole down as well. So we'll get that buttoned up and bring it back. Alright, we got that one tightened down. We got the return spring in there. Use that return spring because it came on that high sun motor and I needed one, so it works all right. We got her snug down there. When I come up here and twist the throttle, she moves. So look down in there, we get full throttle. When that wing right there hits that post, that's full throttle. There it is, full throttle. So we'll get that air box put back on and be right back. Well, after some zip ties, she looks pretty good in there. There's the cable running right there. She hides right up in there. Runs right along there. Up to there. With the airbox on. The wires all zip tied back on. And the brake cable zip tied back down. Yeah, there we go.